Hey guys, what is going on? This is Ivan from PintadoTennisTraining, and today I'm going to show you guys how to hit the FEDERER backhand. Let's get to it. I'm using a Eastern backhand grip, but slightly more between an Eastern backhand and a continental, kind of like a hybrid. So if you guys want to take a look, normally you have a continental grip. I'm going to show it like this. So if the racket was straight and I have a continental grip, I will shift over to about right here. So basically my knuckle, my first knuckle, is on this little line here, like this. So you have continental, but I have more of a between an Eastern backhand and a continental. I'm not fully Eastern, kind of in between. And what it does is whenever you have this grip, it allows you to still brush the ball. However, you can still hit that through pop. If you're trying to copy a FEDERER backhand or any backhand, you got to make sure that your grip is quite loose, but you also want to make sure that you're holding onto the racket well. You want to make sure you're holding the racket more from here, but you don't want to be tight on the shoulder, because if you tense up here, it'll tense up your grip too. But you also want to have a full grip. His right arm is bent throughout most of the take back. His arm is not straight. Just keep this in mind. There are some players like maybe Tommy Haas who used to straighten out their arm here, or maybe Shapovalov, he's closer to being straighter. Okay guys, so the FEDERER backhand looks something like this. Now, if I had to describe it in a simple way, because I'm going to go over this in little pieces, but everything starts with a little L. So he has a grip cinch, and he begins to show the Wilson to the court. Now, I'm using a Wilson racket just to help you guys get a reference. My normal racket is a Babolat, but I'm using a Wilson for this video, just in honor of Roger. So he begins with a Wilson. He begins by showing the letter W to the court, and then from here he's going to begin to start doing his body turn and his feet. So his feet are most of the time always going to look close stance, and it's going to look like this. So Roger turns a good amount, but he does not turn as much as somebody like maybe Wawrinka or Thiem, but he still gets a really good unit turn on his first move. And from here he's going to allow the racket to drop to the slot position, and then he's going to continue to go brush and finish through up and over. From this side it's going to look like this. So he begins to have the grip change, and the strings are showing to the other side, to the court, and as he's doing this, he's beginning to get his feet in the proper position. Now, to give you guys a visual and a reference, he's going to go from showing the strings to the court to showing the strings to the side. And his wrist is going to be semi-cocked like this. His wrist is not going to be this way. It's going to be showing to the side of the court. So from here, the letter W is facing to the side. From this side, the letter W is going to be showing to you guys. From here, he's going to allow, this is the part that's really key. I would say that if you didn't get anything on the video, but you got this part, this is the most important part. The racket drop is a phase that happens as he's beginning to shift his weight from back foot to front foot. So when you start shifting your weight and you start going from this leg to this leg, the racket needs to fall and look something like this. This is what you call the slot. So in all the pros with their one-handers, regardless of whether they're far away or a different grip, they all reach a nice racket drop position. And if you want to copy Federer's backhand, the fundamentals of it would be that part. I would say the strong unit turn with the body, keeping the left hand on the throat of the racket, not going back like this. I would say these are the small fundamentals. And the big one is how this racket drops as this knee and hip is starting to open up and allow you to drive forward. Because in the swing, the arm doesn't really do the motion. It's more of jump started by the court and allowing the arm to be free at the end. The contact should be about right here, not too far in front. The body position on the hips need to be about 45. So at contact, I'm gonna make contact like this, and then after contact, the hips will continue to go. But Roger does not over rotate on his backhand. He's actually more conservative of the way he opens up, unlike maybe like players like Team will really open up a little bit more, or Arinka. You'll really see their hips going out. Whereas Roger, he's a little bit more conservative in that sense. He's more worried about the weight transfer and maybe opening up just to the ball, and then not allowing his hips to continue to super rotate into the shot. After contact, you can use with your left hand, you can also make sure that you go, as this part is going, brushing and rolling, as your arm is rolling away from the ball. So as you're going up and over, your left arm can also be used for counterbalance, and it's going to be out this way. So everything's going to look like this. So the left hand is important too. Sometimes it helps people with the left hand to not over rotate too. So if you're going this way, normally it will help you keep your balance. So now I'm going to show you guys an example of this backhand. By the way, I'm not Roger Federer. I don't know if you guys realize, but my backhand may not come out exactly the way he hits it. Obviously, he's been the way his swing mechanics are, everything is ingrained. He doesn't need to think about it. He can probably pop the ball without trying to. His fundamentals are there. For me, I'm a natural two-hander, but I'm gonna go ahead and show the backhand. Ooh, this racket is nice. Okay. And there it is. This is an advanced swing. It's not that I'm gonna do drop and then come out. It's more of allowing the arm to fall. Allowing the arm to fall as you're transferring your weight. And if you're loose, the arm should fall. So 1 and 2. Oh, that one was clean. That one was clean there. Tell me what you guys think. Obviously, I'm not Roger. A one-hander is not too bad for a guy that uses two. Because I trained for about a year with only a one-handed backhand, so I'm kind of aware of how difficult it is to use it. If you're a recreational tennis player, I would say maybe more like a 4-5. This would be more for a 4-5 or maybe a 4-0, assuming that you already have some decent fundamentals. But again, if there are some parts of this technique that you want to copy, feel free to do it. But again, this is not an easy swing to learn. There's a reason why, you know, the pros are where they're at, because it takes time to learn the technique. And obviously, a lot of them learned the technique when they were like young. So yeah. Again, with the position of the feet too, sometimes there's no need to do a whole lot with your feet. You can just keep your base there and open up. If you're on the run, sometimes you'll see something like hit, and this left leg will come out. Sometimes you'll also see the drag, where you're transferring your weight forward and you're sliding this foot back at the same time, just to ensure that your weight is going forward. If you have a one-handed backhand, well, you want to make sure that you follow it up by having a really mean backhand slice as well. So guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial on how to hit the Roger Federer backhand. Again, I'm not Roger Federer, but you know, the idea is to show you guys an idea of what his swing kind of looks like, and maybe give you some tips for your own backhand. Like and subscribe for more content, guys. Stay tuned. Take care.